My name is Joe Bladek. We're starting episode 140 of Canadian Mortgage Weekly, and I'll be going through some of the benefits of home ownership, as well as just how to get a home generally in Canada, talking a little bit about that, then some of the mortgage news, and I know a lot of you have been asking me about the rate announcement that's coming up next week. So I'll go over all that this episode. Stay tuned. And we also got our pizza card draw. I know that a lot of people have been answering the question about how to about what song I play on Mondays with my Mortgage Mondays. And with that, we have another draw happening, but I won't be doing that today on this episode. I will announce the winner tomorrow night, just to give us an extra day worth of draw. So again, my name is Joe Bladek. We're here today for another episode of Canadian Mortgage Weekly. What is happening? Well, June is home ownership month. So what does that mean, home ownership month? Anyone want to take a stab at it and why we celebrate? Well, this is actually something that was, it began in 1995, and it was to essentially began as Home Ownership Week. So since then, it's really evolved and taken something, a lot further. There's some articles out this morning talking about National Ownership Month. I'm just looking at them. Looks like there's some home ownerships, I guess, regulations and stuff like that, that even the United States celebrates Home Ownership Month. And with that, they were actually, some things were signed into law. Looks like there's home ownership fairs happening across the United States even. But really in Canada, what do we do to celebrate National Home Ownership Month? And that's not much other than a few posts by the real estate associations. I want to do a lot more. And with that, home ownership does bring a lot of benefits to Canadians. I know a lot of people that do own homes, they benefit from their home. They can either rent part of it out. They can rent part of it out to earn an income, whether that is renting out a basement suite or a second suite or a granny suite, or renting out their garage or a backyard for storage. There's just a lot of ways you can make an income off your property. Maybe even roommates. You have a roommate that you are renting to. You can make rent it out that way. Also, owning a home just gives you a lot of more freedom. It gives you freedom to be able to do what you want in your home. You don't have to move because your landlord wants to move in or sell the property. You can do your gardens and paint the place without getting any permissions or anything like that, special permissions. So huge things with just being able to celebrate the independence that home ownership gives you as well. That is huge as well. So with all that, I know I talked a lot about this with so Citizenship Week last week with New to Canada programs and all that stuff, and that's another benefit, obviously. But I really wanted to weigh in on some of the main benefits to Canadians this week and this month, celebrating June, which is National Home Ownership Month. I got to come up with a giveaway still for this month. Not sure what that giveaway is going to be. Something related to home ownership. Maybe a Home Depot card or something like that, like a home hardware card or something like that, to celebrate the fact that as a homeowner, you also get to do maintenance on your home. And with maintenance on your home, that means maintenance that the landlord would usually do, but now you get to do it because you're the one that owns the home. So what's the typical maintenance we see for home ownership that people do? Well, we do lawn cutting, snow removal in Canada. We do edging, we do landscaping, we do aerating your lawn or dethatching your lawn, all those things, tree trimming, bush trimming. Those are some like regular things I do on my property, rental properties every year. What else we got? We got painting the exterior, roofing, maintenance, gutter maintenance, all that stuff there as well. And that's all good and fine and dandy things with home ownership. But with being a homeowner, you need to really schedule those things in over the year, or else they're going to get away from you and you will have a long pile of list of things to do by the time it gets to be that time when that is needed. Because if you wait too long to clean the gutters. You could be having overflowing gutters, which could then seep into your basement. It doesn't become a pretty scenario at all. So the home ownership, it comes with its responsibilities as well. All right, so what else are we talking about on home ownership month? Well, there's also the, let's see, we got the benefits of renting out your home. We got the benefits of independence, and we also got the benefits of making a profit. So when I say profit, I mean you can actually buy a home, sell it for a profit, and not have to pay even a tax on that in Canada because your principal residence, so long as you're living in it. And then as long as you're living in it, that money is tax free. I know some folks that, they just move every few years and they just flip their house, and that's what they do. So the money that they put into it, whatever it is, painting or renovating or improving, or even just the landscaping, really, they can make a profit on it, make a profit, move forward on the next house. And then a lot of people have done that to pay down your mortgages quite significantly. So good for them. They're doing a good job. And just being able to make a profit on your home versus a tenant, you can't really make a profit the same way as you could if you buy a house. Three big things: making a profit, making an income, and having that independence. So that's home ownership month. All through this month, I will be running home ownership giveaways and home ownership month related videos and home ownership month related podcasts this month. So if you have any requests, make sure you drop them in the comments or send me a private message. So what do I want to get into today is, just as usual, go over some of the main stats I see on Canadian Mortgage Weekly, and just talk about those. And we'll talk about the rate announcement coming up next week as well. I know that's going to be a big one, because with the rate announcement, we want to see where this is going and where rates are heading next week, because we're in a situation where rates could change this coming rate announcement. So let's start with the average national house price. We're looking at $716,083 right now. That is for national house price average. It's gone up 4% since the month prior. So it's April we're looking at. That's the 716,000. May's numbers will be out in the middle of June, which we'll have to see what they are. But June might be June's numbers, May's numbers when they come out in June, maybe even higher, because I've been seeing a lot of activity this month. It's like people are seeing the increases and jumping on board and wanting to get in the market now before they run out of time, before the prices go up too much. And if anyone else is out there waiting for the market to drop, I'm not sure what to tell you, but it's not really going to drop any further, because I'm seeing that the market's going up now. I'm seeing that houses went up 4% in April. They went up, I believe it was 8% in March, and another few percents in January and February, making this 4 months in a row of increasing pricing. So great news for Canadian real estate owners. Anyone who does own real estate has that extra equity now, and they can access it through borrowing a mortgage or refinancing. So as the house prices are going up, what's happening with the jobs market? Well, it's up 0.2%, which adds another 41,000 jobs for this most recent report. Jobs market is up as well, showing the Canadian government that the economy is strong and that we're still adding jobs. So is that a good thing? Well, it's a great thing if you're looking for a job. It's a real bad thing if you want the interest rates to come down, because the rates aren't going to come down until the jobs start disappearing. And even though we keep hearing about jobs disappearing, somehow jobs are being added. And I'm seeing all these jobs added, 41,000 jobs. So what else is happening here? So the Canadian housing market is up. The Canadian jobs market is up. What's happening to the Canadian bond yield? Well, it is, you would have guessed it, up as well. Canadian bond yield currently sitting at 3.49% as of today. And where was it sitting at in April. So in April, we did see a point where it was at 2.8%, drop back down to 2.8% in May. So what's that? 2.8 to 3.49. 2.8 to 3.49. Does that give a 70-point split? Yeah, 69 points, 69 basis point separation between the low April, May numbers and today's numbers on the bond yield. So what does that mean? What does that mean for fixed rate mortgage holders? It means that fixed rates are now going to start moving up if they haven't already. I know a lot of banks and lenders, when I came out with that information last week, I said rates were going to go up, and they have. Not all lenders have raised their rates. There are still some that are holding on, but I'm going to see the rest of them start raising rates this week and next week. I can just feel it, because when the bond yield does go up that high, it's not too far off where the banks see that their costs start to increase and they need to start passing that on. So it's not going to look well, because that's going to contribute to inflation numbers. Higher interest costs will contribute to higher inflation numbers. Getting into inflation, where's the Canadian inflation? Well, it's been sitting pretty steady. We've been sitting at 4% now for 2 months, 4.3% for March, and 4.4% for April. So just about the same numbers, however, slightly higher for April versus March. And March was the end of a down streak. We had a June inflation number for Canada of 8.1%, and going down steadily to March of 2023 to 4.3%, steady declines every single month, and April being the first increase to come out at 4.4%. So we won't have inflation numbers for May until about May 15th, until June 15th. So to get a real accurate idea as to where inflation is and if it's continuing to start to go up again, we would really need to wait until the middle of June to see those numbers. However, I think that the inflation is going back up in Canada. So house prices up, 5-year bond yield up, monthly jobs report is up, Canadian inflation is up. American inflation, it did go down in April, 4.9%. So didn't go down too far. It went down 0.1% to March, which was 5%. However, American inflation is the only thing that is down this month. And what did they do a couple months ago that Canada didn't? I think it was in April that they raised rates, if I'm not mistaken, maybe May, which kept the inflation low. So we may definitely see 𝗧𝗵𝘂𝗀𝘀, the Canadian finance minister, hit June 7th this coming Wednesday, and come out with a report at 10 a.m. saying that rates are going up in Canada simply to curb inflation, to slow it down, to slow down the growth of the Canadian economy, because we also saw GDP numbers come out, 3.4% increase in GDP for last month for Canada. So that is huge numbers as well. With that amount of growth, can't really believe it, because 3.1% rebounded. That's a huge growth number for GDP, especially when rates are so high and people are struggling with higher inflation as well. So I didn't cover the CDOR rate. Where's the CDOR rate? Well, the CDOR rate has been staying steady since January of 2023. It was at 5.05%, 5.04%, 5.05%, 5.03%, 5.05%. But for the first time since January, it started to increase as well. The last couple of weeks, it's at 5.08. So we could very well see increased interest rates going into the future, because the CDOR rate is also up. So what does that bring to my prediction on June 7th? So getting into my prediction for June 7th for National Home Ownership Month, I unfortunately am predicting a 25 basis point increase to the prime rate from 6.7 to 6.95%. And unfortunately, that's going to make a lot of borrowing costs higher for variable rate mortgage holders and home equity line of credit holders and unsecured line credit holders, variable rate credit card holders, and variable rate car loan holders. It's really going to make a big difference there. So, it's not really great to see that. However, that's where we're at for the, weekly update for mortgages there. And what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm right? Do you think rates are going up this week? Let me know in the comments below. Would love to hear what your thoughts are on that. And thanks for watching Canadian Mortgage Weekly, Canada's only mortgage video news podcast, here on wherever you're watching, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, what else can you watch on Facebook, YouTube? So yeah, thanks for watching this week's episode of Canadian Mortgage Weekly, Canada's only video mortgage news podcast, done weekly. And give me a call. My name is Joe Bladek. I'm a mortgage broker with 13 years experience, and I can help you get a mortgage or help you get some second opinions on your mortgage if you're already dealing with a mortgage professional. So we'll talk to you guys all later. Hope you have a